think we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you for all those who came today. Those who might be watching this, the recorded version of it. Today's training is Google Classroom Best Practices. If you would, if you haven't already, go to the following address, tinyurl.com/Alcoa 9-21. That's going to give you access to the training slide deck. And if we go there, you can have a look at what our agenda is for today. Now, if you've been using Google Classroom for a while, chances are you may already be familiar with this. But if not, hopefully what we share with you today will provide some ways for you to better utilize this tool moving forward. Just like I mentioned last week, each slide that we have has a link where you can learn more. And so you are more than welcome after today's session to go through the slideshow and just simply move your cursor down to that link, and you can click on it, and it will, in most cases, take you to a support article generated by Google where you can learn more about that particular topic. All right? Okay. I have a couple different Google Classrooms environments that I will be demonstrating from. If you have your own class already set up, feel free to open that up in a new tab, and we'll work through some of these things together. I think we have a total of 12 different tips I'm going to be showing you today. So let's take a look at that first one, arrange and archive classes. Let me swipe over here, and when you go to classroom.google.com, this is probably what you're going to see. See something similar to mine. Now, if you see a bunch of icons over there on the left-hand side, either you do or you don't, those can be collapsed by clicking the menu there. And that is actually a new feature built into Classroom that hasn't always been there. So if you're not seeing it, just tap that hamburger menu and you'll see your icons along with the label. All right. Now, depending on the version of Google Classroom you are working with, you may or may not see this icon right here. In this case, I'm an admin and I have special rights to actually go in and visit classes. So that's why I'm seeing this. We've set that up for principals and assistant principals and building level techs. So this is useful if they need to get in and retrieve something or set up a substitute teacher who comes in or access things where the teacher who owns the class isn't able to get in there. Very useful. So if you're working with lots of different classes, you may encounter an issue where finding them is a problem. Well, this is a nice feature. You may not have known about it, but you can actually arrange these classes by simply dragging and dropping. So the way we do that is to click and drag, and you can see you can rearrange these however you want. Of course, moving up and down the page, you can see all of them. All right? So that is how we arrange our Google classes. Now, archiving a class is going to put away classes that you manage that you no longer need to have right in front of you. All right? It doesn't delete them, it archives them. So if you have a couple there, what you're going to look for, now this only pertains to classes that you own, you're the creator of. If you are a follower or you have joined a class, maybe from the central office level, you can unenroll. And the way you do that is you click the icons there, depending on the type of class it is. So in this case, I own this class. You can see I have the option to move it, copy the invite link, edit the class, copy the whole class, or archive it. Archive it is going to put it away to where we can't see it. It's not deleting it, which is nice, because there may be an occasion where you need to go back and maybe retrieve some content. So it's sort of like putting it in a trash can that doesn't empty, unless you go in and deliberately empty it yourself. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, let's move forward to our next tip. Stay in the loop with notifications. All right, we're going to show you how you can customize those notifications. So let's get into one of our classes. You pick whichever one you want to get into. I'll go to this testing class here. And our notifications are set by locating the icon in the lower left-hand corner and a little more difficult here on my end. You're going to look for the settings icon, lower left hand side. There's actually two gears. There's one there and there's one in the upper right hand corner. We're focusing on this one here on the left. So when we click that, you'll see your profile section, and then there's your notifications. We have notifications turned off for this particular class. So if we turn them on, look at all the options that will appear. So if you want to get inundated with notifications sent to your email every time one of these events occurs, you just turn that feature on. You can see they're broken down by, or you have comments, classes you're enrolled in, or classes you teach. So these could actually be very handy or useful. Whenever a late submission of student work comes in, you can be notified of that. A resubmission, all right? Or if there's a failure in one of your scheduled posts to go live, that would be a benefit to know. All right. Then of course you have class notifications, and you can turn these on or off based on the classes you teach. All right. So you can really get in there and be granular with this. Maybe some of you knew where those features were, notification options. If you didn't, there you go. All right. This next feature is actually one that I like to demo because it allows those who have a creative side, do what it is they do, and that is be creative. So for this testing class, you can see we have this header image that looks just like so. Now, of course, we can go and we can change that by clicking the Customize button here. And you can see if we choose the Select Photo option, we can go through here and we can see all the different categories we have. We have English and history, math, there's art, sports, other. So these are all designed by Google, all right? And they're well done. They're easy to identify. Makes sense. But if you decided you wanted to create your own, you could upload one using the Upload Photo option. Now, if you've ever used Canva before, if you're an educator, you're here in our district, you have the option to create free of charge any type of publication once you've got your alcoaschools.net account configured with Canva. It is free for educators. I'll actually be doing an entire workshop on Canva probably the beginning of next year, maybe January or February. But just so you can see how easy this is, I'm here in Canva, and if I look for a template here, Google Classroom header, that's what I'm going to look for in Canva. If I choose that, look at what's going to come up. All of these different templates that I can pick from, that I can use and customize for my Google Classroom. All right, so let's say I wanted to use I don't know. I'll pick this one right here. It's math. All right, so I can choose that, and I'll say customize this template. So it builds it for me right there, and that's what it looks like. And so I can go in, I can change what these say, and if I wanted to apply some animation to that, I can. Look at that. I'll do the same here. So I've got all these things animating. All right, so now watch. I can choose share, and then I'll download it, and I'll download this as an animated GIF or GIF. You may have heard that. Those have been around for a long time. All right, so if I choose that option and then say download, it's going to take that image, it will build the GIF for me, then as soon as it's downloaded, I can upload it to my Google Classroom header area. And I'm going to show you how we do that real quick. And this is helpful because, as students are going through their Google Classrooms, they've got a lot of classes there. This is one way you can identify your class, make it stand out apart from the other ones. All right, so we got a few more seconds here left on this download. Should come in here. Almost got it. just about there. And there it goes. We got it. All right, so now if I come back here to testing class, what option do you think we're going to choose here? Upload photo. That's right. We'll say upload. Select a photo from our computer. I'm going to go to my downloads section. Here it is. I'll say open. It'll pop it in there. At this point, I can crop the image if need be. It takes a little longer to display the GIF images that come in. There we go. And I'll say select the class theme. Well, I actually did this before training just to confirm that it would work. I've done this before in the past, so I'm not quite sure what the issue is right now. There we go. And then I'll go ahead and save it. And then if I refresh my page here, eventually we'll see that animation come in. There it is. All right. Custom header images to make your class stand out. All right, next, we're going to take a look at a way to customize the classroom stream and cut down on the clutter. So let me go ahead and collapse my menu over here on the left. And if you weren't aware, this area right here, this is known as the stream. This is your content information flow. Pretty much everything you do, there's going to be a record of it right here. And depending on what features you've enabled, this may be more cluttered than other versions of it. So what we can do is look for the gear icon in the upper right hand corner. This is your class settings icon, and we'll choose that. Okay. Now if we scroll down, you're going to see these options here. Stream. Students can post and comment. So if you have some students who are a little more lively than others and they're maybe disrupting things in your stream, they're typing things that they shouldn't, you can turn that all off if you need to. So you can see this option says students can post and comment. You click that drop down, you can say students can only comment or only teachers can post and comment. All right, so if you want it totally locked down, choose only teachers can post or comment. All right, and then this other one here, classwork on the stream, you can choose to hide the notifications, show attachment and details, or show condensed notifications. So if you want the stream to just have a short notification of something you've posted, choose that middle option there, show condensed notification. Otherwise, the entire assignment is going to be there, comments and other things. It clutters up the stream, and it may make things difficult for students to find.
Sure.
All right, so that's why I like choosing this option right here. All right. Now let me type back here. Custom header images, classroom stream. All right, organizing everything with topics. All right, that's a good one. So, whenever you create an assignment, it is crucial that you create it with a topic. If you don't assign a topic and or due date, it's not going to show up over here on the left-hand side where the student has the section for upcoming work. Actually, that applies only to due dates, but if you have things organized by topics, that's going to make it a whole lot easier for students to find it in the classwork section. Okay? So if we go over to classwork, you're going to see the option to create an assignment. So we're just going to play around here for just a moment. We can say create, and here's all the types of things that we can create. And you'll see down there at the very bottom is the topic option. So if we choose that, you can add a topic. Now your topic could be maybe week 1. It could be the name of a chapter. It could be a unit. This is going to be however you want to organize it. All right? And if I go over to another class, this was actually a course I taught at Johnson University a couple years ago. And if we look at classwork here, you can see I have all my topics broken down by modules. All right? And so this makes it a lot easier for you to find things and a whole lot easier for students when they're looking for things. All right? So always attach a topic to an assignment. And so what that actually looks like is when we click create and then go to assignment, you're going to see over here on the right hand side where it says topic, you just choose a topic here. All right? And if you hadn't created one before, you can always do it right here in this section. All right? And then of course there's your due date right there. I want to make sure we do that. All right. Moving right along.
Can you remove topics? Yes, you can.
You certainly can.
Just like that.
Yep. Easy peasy. All right. Another thing I want to show you is how to schedule assignments in advance. We didn't always have this ability, but when it came, a lot of people were really excited about this because, especially if you're a teacher at the beginning of the year, you like to plan out your course. This lets you do it now, and it also releases the content on a date and time that you specify. You know, especially in higher education, if you're taking a college course, they may lay out the syllabus and you can see the coursework, but they don't give you the actual assignment until a certain date.
Yeah.
This is going to be just like that.
Okay.
All right. So what that looks like is you go ahead and you go to the assignment area. You give it a title. I'll call this assignment 1. Okay. You can add your instructions there. All right. We're just practicing right now. Attach any relevant links or content from Google Drive or videos. Right. And then over here where it says assign, there's a little drop down arrow beside that and it says schedule.
Okay.
Choose schedule, and then you can find a date where you want this to go live and hit the stream, add a time, and then click schedule. It's easy as that. Okay?
And that's where it shows the upcoming stuff.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Very good.
And another thing, although I don't have it listed here, but if you start to create an assignment and maybe get called away for something before you've added everything or finished it up, you can choose the option that says save a draft there. That will allow you to continue to work on it later if you need to.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right. Now, this next one, utilize rubrics. And as I thought about this, rubrics, they might not be as useful in a regular classroom where standard assignments are given and tests, like a language arts classes where they're having to turn in papers, or maybe math where they have worksheets they have to complete. How do you write a rubric for that? Either they do it or they don't.
Sure.
If they get it right, they get it wrong. But let's say in your class, you're teaching a lot of different things, skills that are observable. And so in that case, it could be that you develop a rubric so that the student understands what they need to do, exactly what they need to do to earn a certain grade point or level. So here's what that looks like. I'm again going over here to this class that I used to teach, and it is actually in Module 9, let me scroll down here to Module 9, and it was this reflection work. So if I click on that particular assignment, you're going to see that there's this rubric here.
Huh.
So if I click that, this is what the rubric looks like. So for students attempting to get a good score on this assignment, they can go and they say, okay, if I meet all these requirements right here, I'm going to get the maximum score, 4.
Okay.
And then it goes down the list. So there's no question as to what their grade will be because you tell them and you're right up front about it,
Yeah.
right? So this is very, very helpful in terms of clarity, making things clear for your students, right? You can see where maybe this would be useful. All right, so
Okay.
how you create that rubric is the same place you create the assignment. So if I'm back over here in Google Classroom, I'm working on an assignment, you can see down at the very bottom, right-hand side, there's this option, rubric. And if you click that, you can create a rubric, reuse a rubric, one that you've already created, or you can import. There's a way that you can create a rubric in Google Sheets and then import that as well. All right, but let's say we've never created one before. We want to start from scratch. We'll choose Create Rubric. All right, so here you give the criterion a title. You can do a description if you want. And you can add as many levels as you want to by just hitting the little plus symbol there. So if we go back over to mine, you can see
Okay.
for exceptional, they'll be getting 4, average 3, and this is where we build that. Okay? Okay. Moving forward, let's take a look at providing assignment feedback. All right. So let me get out of my rubric here. All right. So let's say you have the students write a paper or they complete something and you want to communicate to them the things that they've done wrong, maybe some things that they're getting right, to help them in the learning process. Well, Google Classroom has a really nice feedback feature that's built into these assignments. So in this particular case, I'm looking at inside the classwork section, and I go to this particular assignment here. Okay, I can go here to where I can see the instructions, everything that I've given them, but then I also have student work. Now in the student work tab, I can come to any of these submitted documents and I can click on them. When I do that, what's going to appear over here on the right are some quick controls that's going to allow me to quickly choose which rubric standard they hit. I can provide private comments directly to that student, and we can go back and forth if need be. Now, if you're seeing the same type of mistakes that students need feedback, you're giving the same feedback to students, this is actually useful here. It's called the comment bank.
Yeah.
And if you click that, you can see I've got some entries there. This section is a little thin. This is excellent work. And you can make as many as you want to. This prevents you from having to retype that information. All you have to do is just copy it, and then you can come back here and then paste it in
Nice.
the feedback area. See? Right?
A big help.
Yeah. So that is assignment feedback. And what's also nice about this, notice what appears up here on the top. We're seeing one student, but you can go to the previous student. We want to go ahead and post that first before. That was the notice we saw there. But you can get to all your students here without having to go back to a different section. You can get it all done in one sitting maybe.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Let's continue. Better management of our grade book. All right, so I'm going to come back here to my home page, and we're going to see the grades section right here. Okay, so there's all the grades that we have listed. These were, just for anybody watching, these were imaginary students I created here, which is why we have all the missing work. Your gradebook options are going to be adjusted on the back end. The way we get there is by, again, clicking on this gear icon, class settings, in the upper right hand side. So let's go ahead and click that. And if we scroll down, eventually you're going to get to the grading section. Now we have a couple brand new features here. You can see on my screen, new grading periods. These are going to be tied to your school, so you can have the assignments automatically added to grading periods based on their due dates. That's new, could be useful. And then we have a grading scale. So let's say you wanted to set that up, levels and percentage ranges. If I click add, we can set it up by proficiency. For non-traditional classes, that might be more useful there. Letter grades, 4-point scales. All right, so if we chose any of that options, you can see what that looks like. You can add your levels. You can copy it to other classes. I mean, this is really, really nice, this feature. All right. We're still in class settings. All right.
That does not show up.
Yes. So if you're not seeing exactly what I'm seeing, email me after this class. We'll get you set up with the premium account, and then all those features that I'm referring to right now will magically appear for you. All right. It's actually a premium feature, and we have several licenses that we've purchased, but we haven't assigned them to everybody yet. So it's sort of as needed or wanted basis. So if this is something that you think you would utilize, let us know. We'll turn that on for you. Okay? All right. You'll also see here, in terms of grading, you can have those grades calculated a couple of different ways, weighted by category or by total points. I will tell you that however you have it set up in Skyward, that needs to match what's in Google Classroom if you want the two services to talk to each other.
Okay.
So there's a way for you to be able to sync this, but if you've got them on two different systems, they're not going to talk, they're not going to get along nice. So decide on one. And of course you can see down here you have your grade categories. You set that up however you want to, and then just make sure you save the changes and it matches what you have in Skyward. All right? Okay. All right, for our next section here, this is, I felt it was going to be more beneficial for us to watch a little video on Guardian summaries, practice sets, and exporting to Skyward. And a couple of these I've actually, well, one of them, I actually created the video, but they're just a couple minutes in length. We'll watch that, and keep in mind more information is going to be on the slideshow, so if you want to learn more about it later, you certainly can. So let me come back here and get to the relevant slide. Guardian summaries. So a Guardian summary is something that is sent to a Guardian. You have all your students in Google Classroom, and there's a way for parents, if you have their email address, to get attached to those students. So all the work and things that you're putting out, the parent would receive an email summary of everything that you're doing, and any other class that has that feature turned on. So that's something that's automatically generated. It doesn't require you to do anything else aside from manage your Google Classroom and enter the assignments. So here's how that works. Let's watch this video. And let me make sure I got my remote, so well, here it is. Turn that volume up. How to use Guardian summaries. Hi, this is Tom Larson with Tech Training for Teachers. In today's video, we're going to be exploring the Guardian Summaries feature of Google Classroom. Let's get started. In the People section of Google Classroom, the teacher clicks the Invite Guardians link next to the student. The email address on file is then entered. At this point, the teacher sends the invitation. The parent goes to his or her inbox and selects the email containing the invitation. Here, they will then click the Accept button. On the resulting screen, they can confirm the email address which the summaries will be sent to. If the address they are signed into is not the right one, they can choose to switch accounts. Once the correct account is selected, the invitation can then be accepted. The Guardian can then choose to receive the summaries either weekly or daily. Once the Guardian account has been linked to the student enrolled in Google Classroom, the teacher has the option to email the student or Guardian, as well as to invite other Guardians or remove current ones. The mobile experience is very similar. Once the Guardian receives the invitation in their email inbox, just like on a desktop machine, they will click the Accept link. The Guardian can then choose which application to open the invitation in. The Guardian then confirms the email address the summaries will be sent to. If a change needs to be made, they can switch accounts. Once decided on, they will click the Accept button. Again, the Guardian chooses the frequency of the Guardian summaries they will receive by email. The summary will include every Google Classroom the student has enrolled in where the teacher has Guardian summaries enabled. If a Guardian ever needs to change the frequency of the summaries delivered to them, or to stop receiving them altogether, they can visit classroom.google.com/GS. Thanks for watching today's video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out via email. You'll find the address in the video description. Okay. Classroom summaries. All right, nice, because it doesn't, like I said before, doesn't require you to do anything extra.
Yeah.
And they can opt in or out and then determine the frequency. All right? Now, this next feature here is a game changer. This was mentioned a couple years ago. We've known it was coming. It finally went live. But this, again, is one of those features that comes with the premium accounts. You may or you may not see it here on your account there. If not, again, reach out to me and we'll get it turned on for you. It's called Practice Sets. Here's what it's all about.
Learning is personal. Students stay more engaged and learn more effectively when they get feedback right away. But one-on-one help for each student isn't always possible with the learning tools that exist today. For educators, having a round-the-clock tutor for each student that could help them grade classwork and give insights into student comprehension would be ideal. That's why we're creating a new tool in Google Classroom called Practice Sets, which enables educators to create interactive assignments from their existing content or from scratch. Students can get help as they answer questions, and teachers can get automated insights to know where students are getting stuck. Let's take a look at how it works. Once teachers create practice sets using existing content or by writing their own questions, our adaptive learning technology identifies the relevant learning skills for each question and finds relevant hints and resources that will be available for students if they need help. With all the typical question types like multiple choice and short answer, practice sets also have a built-in math keyboard and use our adaptive learning technology to enable equivalent answers for robust auto-grading. Teachers assign practice sets in Google Classroom like any other assignment. Students open practice sets right from an assignment in Google Classroom. As they work, auto-grading lets them know right away if their solution is correct, which helps build confidence, keeps them engaged, and prevents one misunderstanding from impacting the entire set. If they don't get a question on the first try, built-in hints help them along. When a student is unsure of where to start, they can open a resources section, which provides recommended videos and concept cards for each learning skill. Additional features include designated space to show their work, allowing them to demonstrate understanding while giving their teacher visibility into their thinking. For assignments created with practice sets, you will have enhanced features in the Classroom Grader view. Teachers get a quick view of class performance and can see student work for every attempt they make per problem. Automated insights reveal class-wide trends, so teachers gain visibility and can adjust their teaching plan if many students struggle with the same question or concept. With practice sets, students get the help they need faster, and teachers get actionable insights about their class. We understand that no two learning journeys are the same, so we're building tools that work for you.
Okay, so that's what that looks like. Let me,
Learning is personal.
whoops,
Students
didn't mean to start that again. Let me come back over here and show you what that looks like on my end. So, if I start with assignment, you'll see where it says attach, practice sets. That's that new feature. Do you have that there? No? Okay. We can actually get that set up for you if you would like. So when we choose that, this is what the interface looks like. And you can see we have a welcome screen here. All right? We can close out of that, and we can just go ahead and get started with creating it. This isn't too different from Google Forms in terms of what a basic quiz looks like, but it is very, very useful, especially with the AI features that are built into this that will automatically pull the resources and then give you that instant feedback to help you know where they are in the learning process. It's really incredible. Yeah, so we're really excited about this. All right, so that's where you'll find it whenever you're creating an assignment. All right, and then finally, last thing that we're going to cover today, how you actually export your grades to Skyward if you haven't done it. Okay, let me show you. Got another video. I was fortunate because I found a YouTuber who put a video out there of the entire process. I am not able to do that because I don't teach any kids. So I don't have a grade book to demonstrate that last piece. So this was good that we were able to find that. Let's watch this. It's real short.
In this video, we are going to show how to sync your grades with Google Classroom and Skyward, our Student Information System, or SIS. So first, you'll need to open up Google Classroom and then open up one of your classes that you want to sync grades in. And in the upper right, click on that settings gear and then scroll down to General, and you will see a new Link to Class button. Click on that and it will bring up your Skyward classes. You might want to have Skyward open so that you can make sure to link the correct Skyward class name with your class. So once you click on the Skyward class name, you can click link and it will link to your class. You'll want to make sure it is the right semester and the right course code. Then in your grade book, you will have an SIS export button in the upper right. You can click on that and it will bring up your assignments. You can check any of the assignments that you want and click SIS export in the bottom, and that will sync that assignment into your Skyward gradebook. So it will bring over the assignment title and your numerical grades. So it will bring over any grade that you have returned to your students. You do have to return that grade for it to bring it over. So we're going to bring up our Skyward gradebook, and there's our assignment. So it has all of those grades in Skyward. So we're going to show that process one more time. Open up a class, click on the settings gear. Under General, click Link to Class and bring up your Skyward classes. So again, you need to make sure that it is the correct Skyward class code that you are linking. And then you can link and go to your gradebook. One limitation is in the assignment title, it needs to be under 30 characters, which is the assignment title limitation in Skyward. So as long as the assignment title fits in Skyward, then it will sync correctly. You can sync an assignment as many times as you need. You'll see that grade updates will show you how many grades updates have happened since you have clicked sync or export, and all you'll have to do is click that SIS export button in the upper right whenever you want to export your grades and send those over to your Skyward gradebook.
Okay, easy enough, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good deal. All right, so
In this video, we
did
are
it
going
again. All right. The next slide that you should be looking at, we've got 3 links there: Google Classroom videos, the Google Classroom Learning Center, and an entire course on just learning Google Classroom. So each of these are excellent resources. You're able to check those out at your convenience. Of course, I'm happy to help you whenever, but any time of day you can access these things here. And then lastly, go to that final slide and go ahead and click on that link there. Just click on the certificate. It'll take you to the Google form. Fill that out. Enter your name as you'd like it to appear on the certificate, and the session title is going to be Google Classroom Best Practices. And then click Submit, and you should get a PDF certificate in your inbox. Thank you for everyone who came today and for those watching online. If you have any questions regarding this topic, feel free to reach out to me, tlarson@alcoaschools.net. Thanks for watching.